Who want to be the reader for today? Who is going to read today? Did I answer your questions about those who feel pretty good in a crowd and those, so that you know how to balance being in the crowd with and being and seeking God for yourself also? All right, let's go to Esther chapter 6. We want to begin at verse 12. This is going to be interesting. Who want to be the reader for today? Victoria, are you on?
Yes, I'm on.
Okay. You don't want to be the reader for today. Where is Geneva?
I'm muted now. Esther chapter 6 verse 12.
Yeah, begin from verse 12. Let's give Victoria a break. You go on.
Afterward, Mordecai went back to the king's gate, but Haman hurried to his house, mourning and with his head covered.
Okay, see, the word there is mourning. Why was he mourning? Why did he cover? When somebody cover their hand, when they cover their head with when you see somebody covering their head with two of their hands, what does that mean?
Ashamed.
Ashamed. And get the word. The word there is covered his head with his hand and mourning. Another word there is hurried to his house. Why would somebody be like running? Where is Lizzie? Where is Lizzie here? So he says the first action word there is hurried. Next one, mourning. Another one, covered his head with his hands. What does that signify? What has happened to Haman that he's doing this?
He was in distress.
He was in distress. Panic.
He was humiliated, devastated.
He was humiliated, devastated. That's it. Why? Because
his plans were foiled.
Because what?
His plans were ruined.
Because his plans were foiled, ruined. This is somebody who is coming to the king to ask the king to permit him to hang somebody, to lynch somebody. That's the word. To get Mordecai lynched. And as you are walking in to tell the king that let's lynch the first, the chief antagonist. Let's lynch the leader of this group who are not obeying your law. Let's lynch them. Let's hang them. Let's hang this person. And as he is coming in, the king now said, come on, hurry in, hurry. Is that Haman? Yes, sir. He came in and bowed before the king, and the king said, stand up. And he stood up, said, I have something to ask you. What should be done to the man that the king desires to honor? I want to honor somebody in my kingdom. Yeah, and the king smiled, and Haman's eyes flickered. Twinkle, twinkle, with twinkle, twinkle, big stars in them. Yes, Haman began to hear that nursery rhyme right in his head. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Yes, because he's a tiny man, so he's not a big star. Now, I got you. Yep. Now I got you and your balls. You cannot escape from being humiliated like the trash that you've always been. Yep. And up above the sky so high, but then we'll bring you to the ground and get you trashed. Haman did not know that the Lord got him on his bolitas big time. He had no idea that something has been released against him. When you begin to fast, the different kind of fasting, power prayers, that's supernatural warfare prayers. It's like you are shooting from different angles. Are you aware that when you begin to fast and pray, heaven releases their power for good and for evil, and it starts coming from every quarter? 3 days fasting gave the Jewish people what they will never have had. David prayed and asked Abiathar to bring the ephah. The Lord said, "Yeah, pursue them, for you will surely overtake them, and you will surely recover all." And when David went, he did not just recover all. He also recovered all that the Amalekite raiders, those robbers, all that they stole, they captured from other people. And let me tell you, are you aware, when you begin to read of the different people and cities and leaders that David sent gifts to, that should tell you how much wealth David got for a bad thing that happened to them. Because let me tell you, do you know how many cities that those Amalekites, they burned down to the ground? Do you know how many slaves they took? How many human beings they captured? And now those people belong to David and his men. Do you know how much livestock they got from all those places they've raided? See? From what appeared to be a bad news to not just a good news, very good news. PDGN, pretty damn good news. Very good. So those who were planning to stone David, how do you think they felt? When now, each person, those who only had like about 10 cattle, 20 sheep, now each of them had thousands, each of them, of the 600 men that were with David. Everyone had 1,000 cattle. From something bad giving birth to an explosion of wealth. Because when fasting and prayer go hand in hand, the enemies are going to be destroyed forever, and wealth going to be increased forever. Please get it. When fasting goes hand in hand with prayers, and you stop being afraid and complaining, because we always complain because we cannot see what is about to happen. See, the same pattern that you saw that happen with David at Ziklag is almost the same pattern that we are about to see happening. So it tells you that it is the same pattern. Heaven has a pattern. Mary and Victoria, write that down. Maybe we can use that as the title of this video. Heaven has a pattern, and you have to learn that pattern. For those of you who are easily given up to your little complaint and worry and fear and doubt, watch out, because you might end up being a witch or a control freak. Either or. Because you look at the pattern should tell you what the outcome always look like. Abraham went to war, it was the same pattern. He came back with more stuff than just Lot and his family. For every bad thing that has happened to the children of God, at the end of the day, they are always compensated so much more. Look at the pattern with Job, the same thing. God has a pattern. You have to know how that pattern works, because that is what is going to make you a great person. Famous person is if you know the pattern, that there is wealth at the other side of what is happening to you. Because all we do is concentrate on what is happening to us, and we do not see what is at the other side, behind the curtain. It's the same pattern. Why are we so much interested in just looking at the immediate problem? Why can't we do what the ancient people do when they encountered ancient feud? Haman is doing what he's doing to wipe the Jewish people away because of what he has going on with Mordecai. But God had other plans. God is also going to use the bad situation. Mary, go to the Romans and find where you say all things work it for good to them that love God. Go and find out that scripture. Thank you.
Right, thank you.
Find it. When you find it, you stop me and you read. Because it's the same pattern. It does not change. That tells you this is exactly how God does his business. This is the protocol. It doesn't change. The outcome is the same. That's why you are asked to be a faith person. A faith person is not somebody that is carrying faith. A faith person is somebody, let me tell you what it means to have faith in God. To have faith in God, please write this down, Victoria and the rest. To have faith in God means believe the protocol, believe the business, believe the pattern, believe the outcome, know it. In fact, instead of saying believe, just put there, know the pattern, know the outcome, know God's trend. After the 3 Hebrew children came out of the fire, it resulted in their promotion. Daniel came out of the lion's den. It resulted in his promotion. Ruth let go of bereavement and followed Naomi. It resulted in her promotion. Abigail did not sit down and be worrying about her husband and complaining. She went out to go and solve her problem with somebody else. It resulted in her promotion. So why is mine going to be different? Hannah forgot about Peninnah and went in. When we will come to Hannah's thing, you will know the kind of prayer that Hannah prayed. Because you thought it was just ordinary prayer. It was warfare.
Romans 8:28.
Okay, Romans 8:28. Please read it to us. Thank you, my mama.
Thank you. Romans 8:28. And we know that all things work together.
Listen, we know. He didn't say, I think. He didn't say, sometimes. He didn't say, perhaps. He didn't say, well, I'm thinking about it. He said, we know. This is time-tested phenomena. This is science. This is super science. For we know. Continue.
That all things work together.
Okay. All things. Everything that will ever happen to you is included. Your situation is not different from what other people have not experienced. There is nothing you are going to experience on earth that other people have not had worse situation than your own. Because many of you are thinking that your situation is special. Your situation is not special. It's not special at all. Your situation is small. All things does what?
Work together.
All things work, okay? Working together. W-O-R-K-I-N-G. Work together. Okay, that word working together means pattern. It reveals pattern. Work together. It tells you that God will change. He will switch things. The bad thing that has happened to you, God is going to use it to comfort you. That's number one. And number two, to give you money and material resources and land. Economic benefit is going to come out of it. It's not just spiritual benefits. Everything that happened to you is going to be paid for. God is going to pay you money, material resources. Please listen. Because for some of you, fasting and prayer is for spiritual purpose. No. I'm not doing anything I'm doing for spiritual purpose. You know the reason? There is no demarcation between me being a spirit and me being human. There's none. So everything I'm doing, whether it be what we call religious or spiritual or financial or I'm eating or I'm drinking, whatever I'm doing is all part of my spiritual lifestyle. It's a lifestyle of God. Period. See, look at the pattern. Every bad thing that happened to the children of Israel in Egypt, when they were leaving, the Egyptians paid them. The Bible said they destroyed Egypt. They despoiled the Egyptians. They took away their goods, their gold, their silver, beautiful clothing, the best things they took away from the Egyptians. When a bad thing happened to you, that should tell you that money is coming your way. God has decided to give you money. God has decided to give you land. God has decided to give you a new car. God has decided to give you a new house. And you are sitting down there because you don't know their pattern. That's why you keep praying over the same thing over and over again, instead of you rejoicing that something good is coming your way.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's true. Hallelujah.
Let me tell you, do you know why? You don't see anything happening, but when you see where locusts are gathered, locusts, you start seeing them jumping. They start jumping. They start jumping. Do you know what they are doing? When they start their jumpology, their gymnastic, they start jumping, trying to shoot themselves into the air, and then they will fall down again. Then they jump into the air, they fall down because their greatest muscle and power is in their legs. They have smelled the wind coming. Before you smell the wind, those tiny creatures have already smelled which side the wind is coming, and they all turn towards where the wind is coming. You will never see the locusts just jumping to the east. You will always see each of them jumping towards the north, or jumping towards the east, or jumping towards the south. They know that the wind is coming towards that area. It's coming towards that side.
Wow.
Why? Expectation is building up. So they are jumping because they know that every one of them has to jump into the wind. Mary, write that down. Let's do a broadcast on it. Jumping into the wind. And surely, after an hour or two, you see the wind coming towards that direction, and they all jump into the wind, and the wind carry them, because locusts don't fly. Locusts do not fly. If you didn't know that they are straight-winged insects. They depend on the wind. They depend on the Holy Ghost for their survival. And look at them, how nourished and sleek, and their bellies are fat and big and huge, and their heads are strong, and they are very intelligent. Why? They depend on their wind, on the wind. They do not depend on their wings.
And they're tasty.
And they are very tasty. They are good.
I'll never know that one.
Now you know it. They depend on the wind. And the wind will always carry them to a greener pasture. Why is it always so? The wind always carried locusts to a green pasture, where they are going to feed fat and happy and make more babies. That's why when locusts come in their armies, your city is gone. They will eat up everything. All things work it together. God is going to push aside the bad things, and through that bad thing, He's going to push in the good things. And you will be compensated more than you ever thought.
Hallelujah! Woo-hoo! Yep.
You see, ancient field
Yeah.
supernatural warfare reveals what is the intention of God. The intention of God is to push back the bad things and push in the good thing He's always wanting to do, that other things were stopping. So the story of Haman, Mordecai, Esther, the Jewish people, and the rest reveals a war. You guys should bow down to us. We cannot bow down to you. That's what Mordecai was saying. Every other race should bow down to us, because we are the sons and daughters of the prince. That's Jacob. God told us that we own the world. That's what Mordecai was trying to say. That's the statement. You see, the good is that belongs to you. Other people are in charge of it. Others are running what should belong to you. People are taking your money to the bank account, and they are not doing anything with it. Get this. Haman was sitting on the wealth that belonged to the Jewish people in that land. It tells you that even though the Jewish people were slaves, but they themselves too had opportunity to build and all of that and own their own businesses, but they did not really have wealth. Let me tell you, God is eyeing some wealth somewhere that should be your wealth, so that you can focus Him in spirit and in truth to worship Him. Please listen to what I'm telling you. God is eyeing some wealth somewhere, some money somewhere, somebody somewhere. And He's going to work things together. He's going to wrap and unwrap things. There is a mystery, a secrecy, what I call it the sneaking in thing. God is going to sneak things in, sneak things out, and work things together for them that, continue, Mary, For them that
for good. Them that love God.
is going to work all things work together for good. It is for good to them that do what? Loves God.
Love God.
And
To them who are the called.
do you hear that? Yeah, hold it. To them that loves God and are called. It's not even those who are selected by the Holy Ghost. Just for those who love God and those who are called by Jesus. Just the third and the second classes. We are not even talking about the first classes. For them that loves God, if that is where you want to stop there. And for those who are called, for them that have Jesus, come on, give me a break. My situation is better if you didn't know it. Shout it. My situation is better. Say it. My situation is better.
My situation is better.
My situation has been changed. My situation is better. I am better than them. Oh. Say it to yourself. I am better than them. Say it. I am better than them. That's the real thing. To them, to those who love God, to them who are called. Finish that sentence. We depend on you today. Finish it, Mary.
Them who are the called according to his purpose.
To them who are called according to his purpose. The purpose of God was for the Jewish community to take over Medo-Persia. Wherever you go, wherever you are located, whether you came there by choice or you came there by force, well, whoever forced you in there, they've made a mistake. Because now, all things are going to work together for what? For good. So, if they brought you in by force, or they persuade you came in by choice, well, it's going to work out for good anyway. Because Joseph was brought in by force. All things work together. He became the ruler of Egypt. Tell me about it. Say this to yourself. What happened to Joseph for good will happen to me for better. Say it.
What happened to Joseph will happen to me
for better.
For better.
So you see, it's always somebody wanting to kill somebody. It's always somebody wanting to deny somebody their right. It's always somebody wanting to make a slave of somebody. It's always somebody wanting you not to rise to a new level. And then God decided to do the sneaking in thing. That's what I call it. The sneaking in thing. Write that down. The sneaking in thing. God then decided to come in and sneak something in. And then snatch somebody out. Because that's always the case. He will remove somebody. Tell me about it. Speak in tongues, Baba. You need it, baby girl. Yeah. Yep. Lift up your hand and say, God, sneak me in. God, sneak me in. God, sneak somebody in for me. God, sneak something in for me. God must sneak somebody in. God must sneak you in. God must sneak something in for you. 3 things. Sneak somebody in for me. Sneak me in. Sneak something in for me. Come on, I want it.
Right in there, Lord Jesus.
I want you to shout. My condition has changed, though. Shout it 3 times. My condition has changed. From today, my condition has changed. Say it so. Say it oh. My condition has changed. I'm very, very happy my condition has changed.
I am very, very happy that my situation has changed.
My God is a good God. My God is a good God. My condition has changed forever. If I am you, I will rise up from wherever I am and I will start running all over that place. I will run around and shout, my condition has changed. My history has changed. My God is a good God. That's what I'll be shouting and running. Nancy, where are you? Get up. Run. My condition has changed. My situation has changed. My God is a good God. Beatrice, run around in the UK. Run around. You came to the UK to take over England. Run around. My condition has changed. My history has changed. My God is good.
My condition has changed. My history has changed.
My God is good.
My condition has changed. My history has changed.
My God is good. Woo, 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 woo. I am called according to the purpose of God. God has a purpose. A purpose. I am in his purpose. I am his purpose. That's why he has sneaked me in. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is the pattern. You have seen the pattern finally. All of you have seen the pattern finally. At the end, you are getting wealth. You are getting money. You are getting good things. You got it. You are getting land. You are getting new cars. It's always to get something. It's always to get something. I am getting something. Come on, begin to say it. I'm getting something. I am getting something big. Out of this situation, I'm getting something big. Say it. Out of this situation, I'm getting something big. I am getting something big. Something good. Something big. I am getting something big. Something good. Hallelujah. Listen to what I'm going to tell you. Listen to what I'm going to tell you. Listen. The secret of all that we have been doing in supernatural warfare is God does not want you to suffer in vain. Do you hear that? God does not want you to suffer in vain. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You are not to suffer in vain. You are not to go to college in vain, get a job in vain, get married in vain, or be single in vain, be tormented by devils in vain. No. No way.
Hallelujah. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord Jesus.
You've seen the pattern. All this time you've been reading all these scriptures, you didn't see the pattern. Now you see it. Now you see the pattern. The pattern is right in front of you. So whoever is attacking you, tell them, watch me. Yeah. All the thing you are doing against me is in vain. Psalm number 2, stanza 1. Why do the nations rage and the people are plotting in vain? Whatever they are trying to do against you is gonna be in vain. It's not gonna work. Their mojo is not going to work on you. Their voodoo is not going to work on you. No way. Yep, their poverty is not going to work on you. You were not born to be poor. Yep. Many of you are going to move away from where you are living, and you are going to move to upper tier society. Don't worry about people telling, hey, now you think you are better than us. Yes, you are better than them. You are better than them, whether they like it or not. You have been promoted. If they want what you got, let them go and pay a price for it like you pay the price for it.
Promotion comes from the north.
Yep. Promotion doesn't come from the east or east. Yeah. Yeah. Hallelujah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Lord, yes.
Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
So there is a place for you to cry, to feel human, feel helpless, powerless. But here we go. Now see that at the end of the day, God is going to extract something out of there for you. You're going to strike gold big time. The diamond mine is waiting for you.
Yes. Explosion.
Whoever doesn't, you should be saying, whoever doesn't like me, they are wasting their time. I like me, my God like me, and is looking out for me. Therefore, come on.
I'm good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yes.
And so Haman, in verse 12, is hurrying away. He's running to his house. He's mourning. Because remember that these people were not just empty human beings. They understand how to read a tea leaf. What I mean by that, they understand omens. Remember, the patients were very good at reading stars, animal intestine, the meaning of event. They were very good in magic. The Persians were good, the Babylonians were good, the Egyptians were good in magic. They understand when something happened, what is to come next. They knew it. So here he is running home humiliated, feeling defeated, knowing that something else is going to happen. This is not supposed to happen to Haman. Mordecai was not to be promoted. How did this happen? How? And what the king said, you cannot go to go and argue with the king. You cannot go to convince the king in this matter. And Mordecai has been promoted to royalty. He's now the king's gate man. That's interesting. Look at verse 18 and read it. Geneva is the reader this afternoon. Read verse 12 of Esther chapter 6.
6. What? 12 13.
Esther chapter 6 verse 13. 1-3 verse 13.
When Haman told his wives Zeresh and all his friends everything that had happened to him, his wise men and his wife Zeresh said to him, "If Mordecai, before whom you have begun to fall, is of the Jewish descendant, you will not prevail against him, but will surely fall before him."
Okay. What did she say? Before whom you begin to fall, See what it says. If he is of the Jewish descendant, before whom you have begun to fall, then shalt thou not prevail against him, but shall surely fall because of him. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? His wife Zeresh is giving him a prophecy. Why is it that? It is because Mordecai is of the Jewish descendant. Do you hear that? If he is a Jew, that's the reason you are falling because of him. Why? Those who belong to the connection of the prince and princesses. See, God is called, first and foremost, I want you to know, God is called God of Israel. When I am going to do something about that, Mary, remind me to do a broadcast on why God is called the God of Israel.
Okay.
Why? That's where the strongest connection happened between God and man. And then in Jesus, two places, two persons, the presence and the power of God, God concentrated. The ability of God to show favor, general favor and selective favor. Jacob and Jesus. I call it J squared. JJ. Jacob and Jesus. Eve, Mordecai, is a Jew, like you and I rightly know he is. There is no way you are going to prevail against him. People of God, what does that mean? Because he's a Jew, which means he's kind of God, their kind of God. We have heard what their God does. And if Mordecai is following that God of theirs, there is no way that you are going to defeat him, to conquer him, or to destroy him. It's impossible. See, this is...
saying you got problems.
Yeah, you got problem.
You got problems.
Yeah, it simply means I warn you. I gave you I told you that he should be hanged. That should have been easy. You went out to go and get permission to hang him. And you are coming back to tell us that you ended up going to honor him. Are you crazy? My dear, this is an omen. Leave town. Let's leave town. Because something bad is about to happen to us. We have messed with the wrong person and the wrong people. Husband, I think we have done that. We have ended up touching the tail of the tiger. And that's not good. This is more than magic. This is more than voodoo. You can't touch this. But we have entered into a territory that we were not supposed. We should have just let them alone. Whether that guy respects you or not, you should just have left him alone. But now you see what has happened? So this is the same wife and the rest who were giving him a plan for him to build a gallows and lynch and hang Mordecai. Now the tide has turned. Those who decided to kill you will be the one that will end up being killed. I want you to know it for a fact. Those who want to jail you will be the ones who will be in jail. I'm serious. The position of that person, that high position, will become your position. This is how the sneaking in thing work. The all thing working together. This is how it goes. And they've been given, this is like the first shot, the warning shot that says, Haman, leave town, or nullify what you have done against the Jewish people. Go and stop the decree. This, you see, your promotion is a warning against your enemies. Please write that down. Your promotion is a warning against your enemies. Make sure you write that down. I know that you've never heard this kind of thing. Your promotion by God and through human beings is a warning shot. It's a warning against your enemies to back off forever. And anything that they've done against you, they should go and undo it immediately. Why? Because something bad is about to happen to them. If you didn't know it, I want you to know the pattern. Spend time to study the pattern. And that's what I've been doing, to show you the pattern, how it works. And this pattern can be applied anywhere that God is for you, and it will work for you. You are not going to be able to prevail against him. Why? What follows him is bigger than what you can say. See, let me tell you. I want you to raise a shout and say this. The thing that follows me is bigger than my enemies. Please write it down. That's a major key. What is following me is bigger than my enemies. What is following me is bigger than my situation. Please write it down. Yeah. What is following me, which means you are God. The God that is following you is bigger than your situation and is bigger than your enemies. That's why if you are with people who are threatening you, you don't want them to mock your God, just tell them. And so don't mention the name of God, just tell them, I hope you are aware that what is following me is bigger than all of us. I hope you know what you are dealing with. Can you handle what is following me? That's what you should ask. Please write that down. Can you handle what is following me? Can you handle that?
No.
There you go. Jennifer, read the last. I think that's the last verse. Read the last verse. This is interesting.
Verses 6 and 13. While they were still talking with them, the king's emitters came and hastened to bring Haman to the banquet which Esther had prepared.
Okay, let's go to chapter 7. This is getting interesting. See how different things it's like different things is coming to play at the same time. Wow. So let's go to Esther chapter 7. I love this. Wow.
Esther chapter 7.
Yes, verse 1.
The king and Haman went to dine with Queen Esther.
Okay, so while Haman was still complaining, and his wife was giving him the prophecy, the king Chamberlain came. Oh, long live Haman, and bowed down, prostrated on the ground, and rose up. The king has asked me to come and get you for Esther's banquet. Now tell me, what kind of appetite is he gonna have to go to that banquet? Yesterday's banquet, he was very happy. Oh, what kind of, do you think he will have stones in his belly? Or he will have butterfly? What is he gonna have in his belly? Is he happy going to go and feast? Huh?
No.
So they came to get him. It's like, let me tell you what is happening here. Write this down. My God is a funny God. He knows how to trap my enemies, and they will not be able to get out of his trap. Are you guys getting it? Haman cannot run. There is nothing Haman can do now. He's trapped. He's like a rat going to go and eat some cheese, and was not just caught in the tail. At least some good rat will bite, or some animals, they will bite their tail off, knowing that they can grow another tail later. They will have to go and see the rat doctor to help bandage the remaining tail. But Haman is trapped. Haman is trapped in the belly. Haman is trapped. So in everywhere Haman turned to, trauma is looking at him. So now coming to work, coming to his job is now a problem, because you have to walk through that gate and see Mordecai smiling at you, smiling that devilish smile, like, how are you now? Hello, Mr. Haman. And really told, there are people who are like Mordecai. Mordecai was something. It was a joke. So now he has all the power to ridicule Haman. So Haman is now facing depression, trauma, possession by devils, fear. In fact, he doesn't know what is happening. Why is this banquet happening? Why is this man being honored? And this man is back to the gates. So he's trapped and he doesn't know what is going on. But he sensed, the wife sensed. Women are always the first to smell the air and know what is coming.
That's right.
Let's see what happened in verse number 2. Woo-wee. Let me say this. I want you to write this down. My God is so smart that he has set a trap for my enemies. And they all have been caught big time. My God is so smart that he has set a trap for my enemies. And they've been caught big time. See, there's another pattern you have to see here. Yeah, there's another pattern that you see that emerges here. And that pattern is this. God sees the future.
Amen.
And see you in the future. And then a wicked person seizes power and holds that position for you. I want you to see the pattern that I'm emerging. A wicked person seizes power and is holding that position for you. Vashti was holding that position for Esther. Here we go. Please listen. Haman was occupying and holding the position that belonged to Mordecai. Mordecai did not belong to the gate. Some of you, somebody is occupying your position, is holding it for you, I think this is the time that they have to get out. They've finished their job. Now you have to go in and set up your office. I want you to see the pattern that are emerging from the different things we are doing. The Egyptians were getting the gold and the silver and the bronze and the beautiful things, keeping it for the Israelites. And when the Israelites were to leave, they asked for it and they got it all and they left. Somebody is busy working for you. Write that down. Somebody is busy working for me. Yep, that's what it is. It's not about God being partial. It's how the protocol and the business goes. Geneva, you are loving this. I know you. I know you. Families of gold diggers. I know you. Is that not true?
Yes, sir.
There you go. You belong to the families of gold diggers. If you are not a gold digger, don't come near our family. Yep. There's nothing wrong about being a gold digger. For me, there's nothing wrong about it. You don't want to go to go and dig a soil that has nothing. Geneva, will you share some of that gold with me?
Sure.
Good. Thank you. You've always been generous. Mary, what's your family? Is it gold diggers or diamond diggers? Which one? You and Roslyn?
Gold and diamond.
Gold and diamond? Interesting. Roslyn, what about you? What are you digging? Are you digging? Are you oil or are you diamond or gold? What are you digging?
I'm all three.
Oh, she's all three. That's interesting. Oh, man. All right, let's see what happened at this banquet. Go ahead, Geneva.
Okay. Esther 7, verse 6. And on the second day, at the banquet of wine, the king again said to Esther, "What is your petition? Queen Esther, it shall be granted to you. And what is your request? Up to half the kingdom, it shall be done."
Mm-hmm.
And Queen Esther answered and said, "If I have found favor in your sight, O king, and if it pleases the king, let my life be given me at my petition, and my people at my request. For we have been sold, my people and I, to be destroyed, to be killed, and to be annihilated."
You hear that?
We've been sold.
You hear that? Esther is now telling the king that her life be given back to her and the life of her people. For they have been sold to be destroyed, to be killed, to be annihilated. Please read that again. If it pleases the king, let my life be given back to me. How are you going to feel if you're a king and your queen, the queen of a kingdom, is asking for her life? And the king is like, what are you talking about? I got you. I got your life. You are not just my queen, you are my wife. And who are your people? Please read that portion again. Let my life be given to me. Go ahead.
And if it pleases the king, let my life be given me at my petition, and my people at my request. For we have been sold.
We have been sold.
And I,
We have been sold and?
my people and I, to be destroyed, to be killed, and to be annihilated.
Go ahead.
Had we been sold as male and female slaves, I would have held my tongue, although the enemy could never compensate for the king's loss. So the king answered and said to Queen Esther, "Who is he, and where is he? Who would dare pursue in his heart to do such a thing?" And Esther said
Okay, so you see, get this. Esther, make sure there's enough wine flowing. Those of you who don't drink alcohol, I hope you are learning here. Making sure that Haman died drunk. Banquet of wine. That's interesting. That's the good kind of banquet. And the king said, who has sold you and your people? And the queen goes, is this wicked Haman? And the king rose up in his wrath. He became really angry. Let's see what happened. Haman didn't know that in one day, all his plan will collapse. In one single day. The plans of your enemies will collapse. Just as simple as that. Go ahead, my dear. The king rose up and said, what is going on here? Haman, you sold my wife and her people? Are you serious? Let's see what happened.
Esther 7:7. But Haman stood before Queen Esther, pleading for his life, for he saw that evil was determined against him by the king. When the king returned from the palace garden to the place of the banquet of wine, Haman had fallen across the couch where Esther was.
Okay, he was now kneeling. He was now kneeling, putting his hand on the couch where the queen is, begging for his life and sobbing. And the king is coming back from the garden, trying to absorb what is going on and what to do. And here is Haman with his hand perhaps on the queen's thigh or on the queen's leg, trying to hold the queen, and you are not allowed to do that. You are not allowed to go there, even if you are begging for your life. Let's see what happened.
Then the king said, will he also assault the queen while I am in the house?
Will you also assault my queen right in front of me? Are you serious? Is this really how bad you are? You are trying to make everybody follow protocol, and you yourself, you don't even follow protocol? Are you trying to abuse my wife in front of me? My queen in front of me? Come on. Let's see what happened. Next.
As the word left the king's mouth, they covered Haman's face.
Yep.
So Harbona, one of Enoch's, said to the king, look, the gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman made for Mordecai, who spoke good on the king's behalf, is standing at the house of Haman. Then the king said, hang him on it.
Okay.
So they hanged Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai.
Are you seeing it?
The king's wrath subsided.
You see that? As the king was just shouting, so you are about to abuse my wife, my queen, right in front of me. As the king was saying, you know, the meaning of that is take him, go kill him. We have to be careful about those that we give power. People who are advising us, helping us, leading us. Because majority of them are also trying to find a way to take your position and to destroy you. The king for the first time knew who Haman was. All this time the king didn't really know who he was naturally, what he was doing behind the scene. Who knows how many people that man has eliminated? How many groups? So they covered his face. The king didn't care that was his right hand man. Said, take him out. Then it was then revealed to the king that Haman has built a place to lynch people in his house. The king said, take him right there. So that was where, and they told him he wanted to come and tell you to grant him permission to go and execute Mordecai there. The king said, go and execute him right there. And they took him there quickly. I can assure you, when people saw Haman's head covered and being carried off, being marched off, you see, there is something dangerous about power and money and wealth. A lot of people do not know how position of authority and money is a setup that can destroy you at any moment. And this man thought, okay, I'm in power. There's nothing that can remove me in power. One little tiny mistake, bam, is done. It's over with. And human beings do not learn that lesson. Somebody called Lucifer made that mistake. Bam! He was gone in a minute. Awaiting forever torment. And they don't like to remember that. They don't like to think about that. Let me tell you, if Lucifer had the power to kill himself and kill all his angels, he would have done that to end it all. Because of the fear of what is coming, but he cannot kill himself. He is, let me reveal the truth to you. Lucifer, all demons, and all fallen angels are not allowed to kill themselves. If they were allowed, they would have killed themselves a long time ago, because they have been given a clip of what is to come for them. I'm serious. Death cannot kill them. Why? Because they have to be alive to suffer. If there was a poison they could drink to die and end it all, they would have done it a long time ago. Billions of years ago. But they can't do it. Because they are kept to suffer. Because the greatest person that knows how to make people suffer is God. If you didn't know it today. Because nobody is telling you about this side of God. If there is a torture master whose prison you can never escape, when he starts his torture, is on. You have to be aware of this. You have to be aware of this. Please listen carefully. Can you imagine this guy?
Someone needs to hit the mute button, please.
Please mute yourself. Mute yourself. If your kids are talking to you, please mute yourself and give them a big hug and a big kiss for me. Thank you. All right, let's go on. This is a very sad story, but it is also a good story. This is to make you learn that power and money and material resources is to keep you humble. It's not something you use to throw yourself against everybody. All right. I want us to stop here for today. Those who wanted to kill you will end up getting killed. You are seeing it right here. This is the Bible. This is the Bible.
Amen.
Those who wanted to remove you will end up being removed. This is what we are going to do. We will return back to the conference tomorrow afternoon by 12 and tomorrow night. But for the rest of the day, take it off for yourself. Go and do things for yourself. Enjoy your weekend. Please do not come to the conference tonight. There is no conference tonight. Today is Sunday. We just wanted to have this time together, and we will start again tomorrow afternoon. We'll start again tomorrow afternoon to continue to the end of this reading. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And God be with you. He is always. Bye-bye.